question is asking you for the inverse functions. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to take the second one. And what I'm going to do for that second one, let's just say f of x equals, but I'll keep the letters. Remember that those letters basically stand for just different coefficients. So they've got it written like that. I tell you what, let's change it. Let's just say that this is 2x minus 1 over 5x minus 1. So we'll have a go at that. Right, why do they say that x cannot equal 1 over b? So in mine it would be like x cannot equal 1 over 5. Well, that's because, remember, this would be an impossible value. If you put that into there, if that was a domain value going in to find the range, we're going to end up with the impossible situation, 0 in the bottom. So do keep focusing on those things as you start to read ranges and domains. So we've got all the correct conditions in here, so let's just take this. How do we do it? So the first thing is, I know some of you like to change this so you've just got x's and y's. Okay, so I've done that now. Because remember, f of x is the same as y. Now, be aware that what I do now is simply a sort of trick method. It's just something you remember to do. And what you do is, you swap the x's for y's and the y's for x's. So the next thing I do is this. So I'm just going to switch the colour because I'm just switching the x's and y's. So far so good. That's the standard method that you use for any question which asks you to find the inverse function. Now what should happen now is, let's go back 5y. Now what should happen now is that I can rearrange this, and my target, and I might need more space than this, is y equals something, and that's my inverse function. So, you mentioned changing the denominator earlier. I can see why you did it now. Actually, in fact, that's the right move. Because what's going to happen now is this is in a denominator, so I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to basically bring this up here. Now I'm constantly looking at what my target has to be. I want to get y equals. Right, at the moment you should actually start to see what the problem is. The problem is that you have y in 2 positions. So how can you possibly rearrange that to get y equals? Well, the first thing you do in that situation is we're just going to multiply through the brackets. Right, so I've just expanded the brackets on the left, and as I thought, I'm going to need a bit more space to finish this problem off. So let's pull it right up. Now, here's my y there, but I've also got a y over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring all the y terms to one side. So it'd be 5xy minus 2y, bringing that one over. Now, at the same time, that minus x has to move over to that side. Minus x going to the other side will become plus x. So I can write it like that, or I could write it the other way around, because we don't usually like to have a minus sign stuck at the beginning. Well, let's just leave it like that for just now. Now, this is the key step in this type of problem. Remember, up here, you've got a y in 2 positions. And if you think about how this thing started originally, you had an x in 2 positions. So let's just remember that's where we came from. Here's the trick. How can you change having 2 y's into 1 y? And this works for anything. You take y out as the common factor. This is the trick. Now you've got 5x minus 2 equals. Right, we never like having a minus sign at the front, so I'm just going to switch these around here. And now, we take the 5x minus 2 and we divide it on the other side. And we're not quite finished yet, because we should write our answers properly. So your final answer, just write it over here. The inverse function equals, and that's how you do it. And it's this step here. It's a very useful method to remember about taking out a common factor. How you can change 2 different things in algebra into just one single thing there, and that's how you do it.